is going on, everybody? It is Lukey Boy. Today we're going to go over what is the Blur.io website, basically. The exchange, you might want to call it. Has some really cool features, actually. I've only played around with it a little bit, but what you can tell you is that there's an airdrop. So the airdrop is valid for 14 days, pretty much from like the 20th of October for 14 days, 2022. So, you know, it might be that you get this, it might be that you don't. This wallet that I've got connected right now does not qualify, but two of my other wallets qualify, and you would get like a loot box, different rarities, and that will actually include their token, their app Blur token, which will be launched and initiated in January. I don't think it's an exact January date, but in January, it's about 2 months-ish, 3 months, 3-ish months. It depends when they're going to actually release it, but obviously that's something to pay attention to and check. Okay, go back to here. So what is it the good thing about this? Why is it good? Well, when you're going to list an NFT on all the other platforms, there's different fees. There's normally royalty, and then there's also the platform exchange fee. On OpenSea, it's 2.5% for the platform, and then the royalties vary from 2.5 to 10. Now, on this platform, you can actually select it as 0. Because actually, if you actually want to know, the royalties are not hardwired into the contracts themselves. So where it has that on the platform, that's because when the person who's created that collection on OpenSea, they've set the royalties for that collection. But really, you don't actually need that. So this platform obviously allows you to select 0 as the royalties, and there is no platform fees. So you basically make 100% of the proceeds. You set it for 0.2, you make 0.2. Pretty straightforward. The only interesting thing is that if you decide to pay royalties, you will be rewarded by the platform for basically contributing back into the community, the NFT space, and you'll be able to get rewarded for that in the future as you progress. So which is, kind of cool. But it's obviously up to you what you want to do. You can either decide to take a 0 if you're looking, if you're new and looking to obviously make profits to further your NFT journey in your career, or if you're making some money, then maybe now and then just drip a little bit of royalties back to the people who are obviously you're trying to help, because you want them to have money to then build the ecosystem and everything that's going on with that project. So it's kind of like a two-sided coin. Like, yes, there's a benefit to you, but also the royalties is going to help improve that project over time. So if you're looking to hold it maybe long term, or you've got a bunch and you're looking to hold some long term, maybe the ones that you do sell, you look to give a bit back. You kind of get what I'm trying to go with it. And to claim the airdrop, you just need 6 months of traded within the last 6 months on OpenSea or any other platform, and over 1 ETH, I believe it is. And you have 14 days to do it, until pretty much the beginning of November sometime to get the first airdrop, and there will be a second airdrop sometime in the future. You can see airdrop 2 is here in November, and it's basically just related to the NFTs that you listed. Loyalty is to do with if you are giving royalties, but it's something you can choose or not choose to do. So why do I like this? Okay, so for example, what I'm going to do now is go into one of these collections, right? So I'm going to go into the other side deed. This is obviously related to the Bored Ape Yacht Club. You can see on this platform it is 1.499. If you wanted to jump over to OpenSea and just put other side, is it actually called that? It is. Okay. Did I change that? Okay. It's 1.55 anyway, right? 1.55, and obviously on here is 1.499 because this person here will get 1.4, but potentially if they selected 0 royalties, they get 1.5 ETH. Give it back to them, but on OpenSea, selling it at this price, they're going to lose, what's the fees, like 7.5% of this. So actually that will be lower proceeds to you. So what that allows is the market to actually adjust and have things sell for less, which is interesting and cool. Also, a nice little feature is marked suspicious on OpenSea. That means this NFT is potentially being involved in some sort of fraud, and you cannot actually sell it on OpenSea. It does not allow you. So it's marked as suspicious, and it's basically frozen on OpenSea. You can sell it on other platforms, but it's something to look out for. That does happen on more the bigger collections when people get scammed. The NFT is reported, then that NFT is actually marked as suspicious by OpenSea, and it's not able to be traded on OpenSea platform, although there are other platforms, right? So move my fat head, and we can have a look. What else can we see here? Obviously, you've got some, light analytics, 7-day floor, 10-day floor, the daily changes, 7-day change, the volume in the last 15 minutes, 1 day, royalties, just so you can actually see what it is. What's quite cool is you can see the floor depth here. So you can see here, there's a count 2 or there's count 1 and count 2 around the floor. And then it pops up. So the average price is 1.4995. And then it pops up again. And you can basically see where is most people listing. Most people are listing at around 1.53 or above. You can see like the amount of people here. It just completely astronomically just increases compared to down here, where there's, you know, not many people. Obviously, you can see that by seeing here, right? Here to here, not many, and then it pops up. So anything above, yeah, 1.53. I guess actually it's showing you something like, yeah, so actually average price 1.5264, 5264. Oh yeah, 52 here, yeah. So you got about 100 from here to here, and that will be designated like that, and then it will pop up. So it's interesting to see. You can also see the last sale, which is quite cool. If you click into this as well, you get to see some attributes, which is quite nice. So, you know, it's always nice to try to pick up an NFT with attributes, or sell the NFT you have with attributes for slight premium. And you can go ahead and look at what the floor price is related to that attribute. You can see this one, it is basically on the nose. There's nothing specifically interesting about this. So let's try to find one where we can find it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down a little bit here, maybe something like this. You can see this attribute here. The floor is slightly higher. This one's slightly higher than say this one. And if we go down again, let's try to look for some others. This one's probably this is actually a suspicious one. I'm not going to spend too long doing it. You can kind of get what I'm trying to do. I'm just going down, and what you might find is that you may find one near the floor that actually has a nice attribute. And you might, for example, come in here and see that the floor on, I don't know, decay is 2 ETH or 2.2 or something like that. So that will give you an insight that, oh, you know what, there is a potential chance that I can buy this because someone's listed it at the floor because they want to dump it, they want to get rid of it. But actually, because this one here, his last sale was 5. So if we go on to this, is there anything interesting? There's not really. I must have brought at the peak of the cycle when this is probably pre-reveal or something, because it was going around that at pre-reveal. But you could find something that you really like by looking at the floor, not only the floor like this, but looking at the attributes here and trying to find something that you can snipe. What I mean by snipe is find something that someone is just dumping because they just don't want to have it and they want to get rid of it quick, but a specific attribute within the actual project itself, as in the NFT itself, has got a premium on it. And I would love to find one, but it kind of seems that we're not going to actually do that because I'll be here all day. But that's a really nice quick way to do it, because you can obviously naturally do that yourself on OpenSea. You can just come on here, you can go on here, and then you can actually look at the percentages here. But it's a lot more annoying, and also you don't know what the value is of that as such. So what I mean by that is, yeah, I can click sludge, but I'm going to have to go into sludge and go, right, 1.55, 1.86. Yeah, and then I have to go back and I'm going to have to go on the next one, the next one, the next. It's going to take a long time. On here, it's just really nice to be able to, you know, choose. Well, I'm not going to buy it, but click on it and again, look, and you might get lucky. Obviously, you don't spend forever and ever because, you know, you can't keep going up looking for one because obviously the floor is going to increase. So another little cool feature, just so you can sort of get what you know, I can wrap this up a little bit, is they have this feature here. So let's say you wanted to buy 5 of these NFTs. You could click 5. Maybe you couldn't. Can you type it in? Yeah, you can. You type 5, and that's pretty cool. Right? You can sweep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you could actually just put. Let's see if you can just do that. You want that, but you don't want these 2, and you want these 2. Does that work? Yeah, you can. So you could buy 5 of these for 7.558. So basically, you're sweeping the floor. OpenSea doesn't allow you to do that. And what that allows you to do is save on gas fees, because you're bulking it all together and you're doing it in one rather than doing individual transactions, which is then going to add, obviously, verification through each NFT that you buy individually, singularly. So that's really, really nice, because sometimes you know, not necessarily a project like this, but some projects that are very, very cheap, you want to go and buy 5 or 6 because, you know, you've got the cash, and it's nice to go and buy them all at once, save a little bit of money, instead of having to go through that laborious process of actually getting your ledger out, typing in the password all the time, and, you know, buying XYZ, and it takes you a minute or so, then you've got to go to the next one, you've got to go to the next one, you've got to go to the next one. So that's another really cool little thing that some of the platforms do, but this one just feels nicer doing it, as well as some of the extra little you know, bits we've got here. And again, they've got links here if you want to go ahead and look at the other platforms. So if you want to go and see what this is on OpenSea, for example, you can click here. This person's selling it at 1.6, but selling it at 1.4699 here. So, you know, why would you go ahead and buy off OpenSea when you can go ahead and actually buy it off here? And again, why would you go ahead and sell something on OpenSea when you can go ahead and buy sell something here and get more proceeds, or potentially take sell it for cheaper and get the same amount in return, which means you should be able to sell that NFT faster. So I'm going to wrap the video up there. Obviously, there's a lot to look into and sort of get used to on this platform, see how it actually evolves and processes over time. But hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.